Hi guys and girls, it's Russ from RussHowe.PTI.com. When I'm working over in my gym doing the fitness instructor part, I'm often asked by people who come up to me and say, Russ, how much weight should I be doing on this particular exercise? This affects both regular experienced trainers who've been doing months and months, maybe even years in the gym, as well as complete newcomers. You know, oftentimes I've been doing a gym induction showing people how to use machines. They'll sit in there on a leg press or something and they'll be like, okay, what do I put it on? And you know what, like I say, it's not just newcomers. Sometimes maybe you've been training for months and months, but you've just never really got any advice. You know, how much should you have on that machine? Is it going to help you for what your goal is? So today, I'm going to show you my simple 4-step system, 4 simple rules. This will help you figure out how much weight you should have on any exercise for any goal. Okay, it's very simple, there's no gimmicks behind it, anyone can do it. You can do this with me in the video, it'll take you 5 minutes. And you can apply it to whatever exercise you want. Alright, we'll get started. Rule number 1, when it comes to weights, everyone is different, okay? As a trainer, if anybody asks me, Russ, how much should I be lifting? One thing I will never do, I will never give them a straight answer in terms of 10 kilos, 20 kilos. Because, you know, if your trainer ever does that, ditch that trainer. That's a bad trainer. Because if they don't know anything about your background, your lifting history, how can they say something like that? So I would say, number 1, everyone is different. So do not just jump on a machine after your friend and think, I'll do what he did or she did and I'll be alright. Because, you know, what they're lifting, they could be stronger than you or weaker than you. And that weight that's on there right now might not necessarily help you get to where you want to be. So the next 3 rules are going to show you how to figure out your own specific weight target on the machines. Alright, so that's rule number 1 done. Rule number 2, you've got to set your goal. The amount of times people have come up to me and said, Russ, how much should I be lifting on this bench press? And I've gone over there and said, okay, well, what's your goal? You know, where do you want to be in 6 months? What do you want to look like? And they'll say, well, I want to focus on losing fat, but I also want to get really big and, you know, I want to get really defined. And I think, you know, if you keep training that way, where you haven't really got a goal set in mind, you're not going to reach that goal. You have to set a goal in order to reach it, and the easiest way to do that is to pick one thing. If you've been training for a while, you probably know that to get bigger, you need to focus on eating a lot more calories as well. Whereas to diet, to lose fat, to trim down, you need to be working on a calorie deficit, so you need less calories. So you can't really do both at the same time, unless you're brand new to training, in which case that first month is great, but then it just catches up with you and you have to make a choice. So pick one, alright? There's nothing wrong with setting yourself a great long-term goal, okay? I want to look like this long-term, that's what I'm shooting for. But then split the journey up, alright? Because believe me, it's one of those journeys where the trip there is more fun than the actual destination. Because once you get into your training, there ain't no quick fix. You're going to be training for the rest of your life. You know, it becomes a way of life and you really love it. But you've got to have that goal to get into it, to get to that stage where it becomes into your life, you know, and you want to do it every day. So, set yourself a long-term goal and then break that up, okay? So if you want to look like a certain person or whatever, focus on, so what do you want to do first? Do you want to focus on getting bigger and then cutting off the fat, or do you want to focus on losing fat first and then getting bigger? You can do it either way, you get results, but you've got to have that target set, otherwise you'll see people going from week to week doing different programs. Okay, I want to get big. No, I want to get more toned. No, let's just focus on fat loss. No, I want to get big again. You know, just following random programs. Don't become that guy, because believe me, that guy in 5 years will still be running around your gym doing that, probably following you, you know, doing whatever you're doing. So just set that goal, stick to it, do not let anybody derail you from it, okay? Because then once you've got that goal, it helps you more than you would think. It's not just a target. You have something in your head every single day that you have to do something now to help you get a bit closer. Every single day you've got to do something. You become a lot more specific with your training. You'll stop messing around with exercises that you were just doing for the sake of it. You'll start thinking, well, how is this going to help me get to my goal? You just start looking after yourself better because you know what you're aiming for, right? And then once you've got to where you want to be with, I don't know, fat loss, and then you want to focus on getting bigger, that's when you change your goal. Keep breaking up that journey. You know, anyone will tell you with a long day ahead, don't just focus on the end of the day, you focus on your lunch, right, your break, you get to see the kids, and then, oh look, it's the end of the day, right? It makes the day go faster. It's the same with goals. Okay, rule number 3. This is the one where everybody gets lost, so hopefully this will help you. How many reps you should be doing. The first rule and the second rule will help you decide this, because once you've set that goal, you'll know how many reps to do. Alright, I'm going to show you how in this one. There's a few general rules which have been accepted by the fitness community, like whatever your goal is, there's a few general rules as to how many reps to do. I always say there's a million different ways to accomplish any body, but you can't really go wrong with these 3 set rules, and that is, if you're trying to get bigger, you want to be focusing your main big exercises on shooting for about 6 to 8 reps in your set, which will allow you to go quite heavy. You should be thinking though, by the time you get to 8, I don't want to do no more, right? If you can carry on, put more weight on. Okay, if you want to focus on fat loss and toning up more, you would aim for a lot more reps, maybe it's 15 to 20, 25 at the most. That'll force you to use less weight overall, of course, but you should be ending within that 15 to 20 zone. What that's going to do is, you will still build your strength up, but it's going to focus more on getting lean, okay, lower weights, more reps. But you shouldn't get to 20, 25 reps and think, I can go all day. You know, that's too light. You've got to try and aim for that golden zone, right? That's the golden zone for toning up. Cheesy gym instructor expression there. Yeah, and you can sometimes shoot in the middle as well. You know, if you just want to focus on general conditioning, go for about 10 to 12 reps. You know, ultimately, once you've set that goal in rule number 2, this rule is easy to figure out, right? Because there's the 3 rep ranges that you shoot for. Rule number 4, the most important rule of all, progress. No point in figuring out how much you should be bench pressing this month if you're just going to keep doing it forever. Your body will adapt. You know, it's the most complex machine you'll ever operate, or for that matter. You know, we're still figuring out how it works these days after thousands of years. So 80 kilos or 50 kilos on a bench press this month, you might get to 15 reps and think, oh, I want to stop. Next month, you might get to 20 reps and think, actually, this is pretty easy. I could probably do 30, 35 reps. Put the weight up, right? Don't just keep going all day. Generally, this doesn't really affect those who are going for size, those who are aiming for like 6 to 8 reps. They generally, you have to rein those guys in a little bit. You have to tell them not to go up so fast, because it's all about, I want more weight, I want more size. And you have to say, don't put the weight up until you can do those 6 to 8 reps with good technique, you know? That's when you put it up. But with this problem here with progress generally affects people who are trying for weight loss or toning up, because they're frightened that if they put the next weight on, it's going to make them get bigger. So that's why your reps, use your rep system, okay? The guy was explaining this in the gym to his friend the other day, and his friend couldn't believe it. He was like, oh, so that's how you figure it out? It was like, yeah, I use, you know, Russ told me his rep system. It's very simple, right? So a lot of ladies are frightened if I put the next weight on. You know, I'm gonna go huge. You can't get big by accident. All right, you need to eat loads more. You need to train a completely different way, less reps, bigger weights. And for women, you need to take all kinds of different stuff as well, testosterone and stuff. So don't worry, you can't get big by accident. All right, putting that next weight on isn't going to hurt you, because we see a lot of girls that are they'll do 20 reps, 25 reps, and then they're so terrified to put the next weight on. They'll just carry on doing more and more reps, and they've done like 100 reps on the machine, and they're still not even sweating. I mean, you'll be there all day, and they wonder why it's not working. You know, your body's just, it's used to it, right? It knows you're not pushing it. So yeah, don't be frightened to put it up, keep progressing, use that little system, and hopefully it'll help you. You know, we see a lot of people stuck in that same old routine. Don't let that happen to you, because believe me, it's just boring. You know, keep progressing. I just want to say before I go as well, you know, you can always find me on Facebook, search Russ Howe PTI, and I wanted to say thanks to the guys on YouTube, who you're always there giving our videos a little thumbs up and sharing it on Facebook and Twitter, and you know, it inspires me to keep doing these videos, knowing that it helps you guys and you're telling your friends about our page and stuff. I love it. I love getting emails off people through our blog or the Facebook page saying thanks for the videos. It's great, you know, just feel free, continue sharing stuff with your friends and family, telling them how to. That's why we did the page, because there's a lot of people out there just get stuck on really, really simple things that could be eliminated, such as this, you know, how much weight to put on the machine. It's not very hard to figure it out, but people often are just lost because they haven't got no one to help them, they've got no one to tell them. So thank you guys, keep sharing our videos, I appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to have to go and continue my own workout. So thanks a lot for watching today's video, and I hope it helped. Thanks, bye bye.